Good evening, Blackhawk families. Welcome to the class of 2027. This is the parent presentation. I am Michelle Morales. I'm one of the counselors here at La Quinta High School. My 5 colleagues are going to be joining me today, and we'll introduce you to everyone. But what we're doing tonight is really trying to set you up for success in supporting your 9th grader here at La Quinta High School. So we'll be going over quite a bit of information. That's why we found that recording this presentation can be extremely helpful. You can go forward, you can go back, you can rewatch parts. And we know it's missing that live interaction. So we do have an opportunity we're going to tell you about for you to come in person on campus and ask us some questions and get clarification after tonight. So as we get started here, we are going to be covering, like I said, a lot of information. So I'm going to introduce the counselors. We're going to be reviewing high school graduation requirements. We'll teach you about the A through G requirements, going over what our student athletes need for NCAA. We'll talk about post-secondary options for your student after high school, as well as what kind of academic supports we have here at La Quinta, what opportunities for involvement, and then some great upcoming events. So before we get started, just a reminder, this is our mission of La Quinta High School, is to be a culturally diverse community to provide through a wide range of programs and opportunities, academic, creative, social, and co-curricular environment that develops well-rounded lifelong learners who are not only productive, but ethical and global citizens. We are overseen here in the counseling department by Miss Kate Keener. She's one of our assistant principals. So if you do ever need to reach out, she's going to be your contact person for La Quinta High School's counseling. Who are we? All right, so each student is assigned to a counselor based on their last name. So we all work with students grades 9 through 12. Who your student's counselor is decided by their last name. So you'll see our alphabet breakdown here. First is Miss Giselle Chavero. She oversees students' last names A through CH. Miss Maribel Ramirez, her former last name was Beltran, so you can reach her either at maribel.beltran or maribel.ramirez, oversees CI through last name Garcia. Myself, Miss Morales, I have Garchinsky through Long. Miss Elva Pena with Lopez through Ortega. Alfonso Olachea Ortiz through and I believe it's Sandoval. And then Mr. Antonio Rodriguez oversees Santiago through the last name Z. We're going to have each counselor step in and join us tonight and be covering different parts of this presentation. So I'll be with you guys again soon.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mr. Rodriguez. Thank you, Ms. Morales, for the introduction. I'll be talking to you regarding high school requirements and student success needed here to graduate from La Quinta High School. So some tips for the academic success. Attendance. Make sure that your students are here on time every day, and they actually are here on campus every day. It's very important that they show up to be successful. Organization, student handbook, planner, closed notebook, 3-ring binder with dividers as needed, a charged Chromebook, a cord if the power cord if they need it for their Chromebook, just to make sure that they have every tool to be successful. Time management. Know your schedule of events and due dates for assignments, tests, and major projects. We tell our students over and over to learn to love their deadlines. That way they stick to them and they can ensure that they turn in everything when they need to. Study time, complete homework, review notes, and limit distractions. Make sure that your student is, in fact, managing their time wisely and focusing where they need to. Test preparation, complete study guides, review notes, study. You want to make sure that you are prepared. Teacher support, make an appointment, Blackhawk hour. So if your student knows that they need to make an appointment with the teacher or they have to attend a specific teacher's Blackhawk hour, make sure that they're doing that so they can go make up the tests, talk to them about their homework, anything they need to discuss with their teacher. And set goals. Talk to them about what they want to do after they graduate, right? I know they're just embarking on their high school journey But those 4 years are going to go by very fast. So set a personal goal daily, weekly, quarterly, yearly, or even a 4-year plan. So what are the high school requirements for La Quinta and Desert Sands Unified School District? Here on screen, you're going to see a total of 220 credits, right? But the breakdown is based off subjects. So in order to graduate from La Quinta Desert Sands Unified School District, a student must take and pass 4 years of English, must take and pass 3 years of social studies, mathematics 3 years as well, 2 years of science, 1 year of a world language visual performing art or CTE, and 2 years of physical education. PE is indeed a graduation requirement. This is very similar to our A through G requirements, which will be discussed shortly. But in order for a student to graduate, they also need to complete a financial aid application. That is going to be their FAFSA or CADA application their senior year.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Alfonso Olechea, and I will be covering the A through G requirements. So what are the A through G requirements and why are they so important? So what the A through G requirements are basically a set of courses that students must take and pass with a C or better in order to be eligible their senior year so they can apply to any Cal State or UC that fall semester. So because they are so similar to high school requirements and we want all our students to have this opportunity, it's pretty easy and you'll see most students scheduled to meet these requirements. So as you can see here, we have the 2 years of social studies, 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 years of science, 2 years of a world language, 1 year of a visual and performing art, and 1 college prep elective year. So just a couple notes in regards to these requirements. Again, those grades must be a C or better. Definitely want to have this conversation one-on-one with your counselor just to ensure that you're in the right class, you're in the right placement for those classes. You have enough of each subject. We do have certain classes that count towards PE and a visual performing art, such as our dance class, which students can take starting their 10th grade year, as long as they pass PE with a C or better both semesters their 9th grade year. So there's a lot of great opportunities for students to take different classes to meet both A through G and graduation requirements. It's all about meeting with your counselor to ensure you have the classes you need and just get those placements corrected. Another note for world language, must be 2 of the same language, 2 years of the same language. So if a student does Spanish 1, doesn't work out, we go into French 1. That will not fulfill the requirement. It does need to be 2 years of a foreign language. Once a student takes Spanish 2 or French 2, they do meet that requirement, but will still need additional classes for their elective course. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't count as 2 years total, just 2 years of meeting the requirement. And again, this UC, the courses must be UC approved. Sometimes students take a class outside of our school. As long as we see and we can verify that is A through G eligible course or UC approved, we can definitely make sure it gets transferred here to meet those requirements and make sure that's updated so that when it comes to applications, we're good to go. So now I'll be passing this over to Ms. Pena.
Hello, everyone. So we just want to get started in talking about what post-secondary options are. It's always really important to have these conversations, not only with your students, but your students to have them with their school counselor as we prepare their education. Some examples will be, and we always like to highlight the 3 E's: enrollment, enlistment, and employment. So types of education-wise, types of colleges, community colleges that we have for students who might be looking into a 2-year right after high school, maybe for certification, maybe for associates, or to transfer on. Also, our 4-year universities, our local ones being our California State University, CSUs, University of California, UCs, and then looking into some of the private schools as well as out of state. Again, we are interested in learning what your students are passionate about, what they are looking into for their education after high school to best prepare them here at La Quinta High School. And again, we have opportunities to learn through office hours about different trade schools, vocational, different universities, colleges, and then looking into the different branches within the military. As we continue this exploration, we do want to make sure that all of our students have this college readiness, no matter what their future entails. So making sure that our students are aware, we want to aim for season higher. Obviously, we want to see them do their best, not only so they can get the best education, but they can see what opportunities are ready for them afterwards. We do think it's important that students are aware of if there is a school that they're looking into, that they stay competitive. Yes, the minimums for our CSUs are a 2.5 GPA and for UCs a 3.0. But if there's a school of their dreams, we want to make sure that they are trying their best to really show their skills, to have a high GPA, that they're using their resources here on campus to do so that we can have that variety of options ready for them. We want them to challenge themselves. Yes, for the bonus of some of the honors courses, but also to dive into subjects with our honors classes that will eventually be IB courses in their future. We want to make sure that they're diving into different interests, whether it's joining clubs, joining sports, partaking in different organizations here on our campus, not only so they can get involved on campus, but also to explore what they're interested in. We might be interested in one career once we step onto the high school campus, but it might look very different after their experience at high school and what they're passionate about. And please, 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 again, make sure to talk to us about what you're thinking about. Every spring when we're selecting courses, we'll discuss what we're interested in. And then as counselors, it is our opportunity to help them and guide them on what the best programs or courses will be to help them in their goals. Again, please get involved. I feel like our campus is extremely huge, but the more involved you are, the more it feels like home. So we definitely want to see that here happen to all our students. And then what does getting involved look like? Again, joining clubs. We'll have Club Rush this week to dive into the different organizations here on campus, trying out for sports, looking into programs from AVID and IB and other programs that we have available. We'll have that opportunity come January to see a variety of our programs that might be opening up for applications. So as freshmen, please look out for that into the spring, and please make sure to listen to the deadlines of when those applications are due for those programs. Again, we would love for students to get involved in regards to different types of courses, learning different skills, office hours, classes, and so forth. And again, meeting new people and making new friends gives you an opportunity to see more options in the future. Now, if you or your student are very invested in seeing, okay, these are the skills that I have, what can that match with? Every student within our La Quinta campus has access to an account through californiacolleges.edu. When you sign up, you are able to sign up through your student email, and it connects you to a great program that highlights things like surveys, where you are able to take quizzes or assessments where you share how you learn, what you're passionate about, and it'll show you what professions or careers would be helpful for you as a student in regards to your interests, what you value. The fun part is, aside from those careers, it also tells you what kind of education would be helpful for you on your journey throughout that career or throughout that education. And this will be the same program that will be helping you come your senior year or possibly junior year as you create your resume for possibly employment, or it helps you for creating a resume for when you're doing your college applications, along with helping you fill out those applications. A really great tool, resource that you have access to now as freshmen.
Thanks, Ms. Pena. Thank you. So as Ms. Pena mentioned, it's never too early to start thinking about what your student wants to do after they leave high school. They just stepped foot on our campus. They've been here about 6 weeks, but we really want them to be prepared, know what their options are, and know what the requirements are for their future plans. So I'm going to be speaking specifically about NCAA, which is going to be relevant for all of our student athletes that are here on campus. NCAA is the National Collegiate Athletic Association. So they're the governing body for all of the college sports. There's another institution as well for the smaller private schools. That's the NAIA. So we want you to be aware of them as well. But for our students that are interested in playing sports at the collegiate level, it's really important that they understand that NCAA has specific requirements that are different slightly from what the universities are looking for just for admission, and a little bit different than what some of the privates might be looking for as well. So NCAA is very adamant about students being students first and athletes second. So they want to make sure that the athletes they're recruiting and that are playing sports on their campuses are prepared to pass the coursework that they're taking. You know, they need to be a college student first. So they are going to be requiring students in high school to register with them online. They're going to be creating accounts, and they recommend doing that during sophomore year. You can wait. So if your student's a junior, senior, and decide that they want to play at the college level, they can do that later. But then it's going to limit when recruiters can be reaching out to them and their ability to go on some official visits. So the sooner the better to create that account. Students must maintain a 2.3 GPA or better to be eligible to play, or they would have to redshirt as a freshman. That means they can practice with the team, but they can't play in the competitions. So it's 2.3 or take a knee. And they have to take the required coursework in high school. So they are looking specifically at what they call core coursework. So they're looking to make sure that their student athletes are taking core courses in the subject of English, social science, math, science, and foreign language. And the courses need to be new material for the student. So they must be approved by NCAA. That means for our students, they can't take any credit recovery through a program called APEX because it just doesn't meet the rigor that NCAA is looking for. I have a chart here. It's going to go ahead and show how that kind of plays out. NCAA is looking for students to take at least 10 of those core courses before the start of senior year, and then a total of 16 core courses by the time they graduate. So if they're taking 4 core courses in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th, and then in 12th, they'll meet that 4x4 or 16 requirement. We just have to be really careful. We need to know as counselors that students are interested in being NCAA eligible as soon as possible. We need to make sure that if they are unsuccessful in the class, they don't pass with a C or better, we need to know that they are trying to be NCAA eligible so we can make sure they get an opportunity to remediate that course in a way that's going to satisfy the requirements. So parents, you can find more information out on the NCAA website. The link is posted up there. It is extremely informative, and they do offer webinars for families. I highly suggest that if you are interested and your student's interested, you guys watch one of those webinars together and really hear directly from NCAA what their requirements are.
Hi, and I'm Mrs. Ramirez, and I'm going to be talking to you about academic supports here at La Quinta High School. But before I start talking about that, I want to make sure that we highlight grading periods. So if you can please go to the next slide, Ms. Morales. Why are grading periods important? Well, they're super important because they help you understand the needs of your student early on. So progress reports already went out, right? You should be able to view them on student view or parent view under report cards. And it's really, really important for you to keep track of these dates because they'll tell you like, hey, these are the areas that your student needs to work on. It communicates early on. I also want to make sure that you understand that progress reports and quarter grades do not go on the student's transcript. The grades that you will see on the transcripts will be the semester grades. If you see here, the first progress report was in September. The quarter grades will go out in October. The second progress report will go out in November, and then semester grades, which is what we will see on the transcripts and what colleges, universities will see on your transcript, will be in December. So that's the first one, September. And then the next grading periods will be February. That is a progress report. March is a quarter grade. April progress report, and then in June, finally a semester 2 grade. And that will be on the transcript. So I just want to make sure that you understand that, because I think sometimes students and parents are confused about that. So we give you plenty of notice so that you can go in and get the supports that you need, either reach out to your teacher, get some tutoring. I know we're getting ready to recruit tutors for after school, so hopefully that is coming soon. But it's really important that you stay on top of your students' grades for sure. During Black Hawk Hour, we do offer some extra help. It's part of our weekly schedule where students will have the opportunity to meet with teachers, receive support in the classes that need help in, and it just gives you a big opportunity to, and even if you feel your student feels that their teacher's not offering a session on math support this week, they can go into a different teacher. So it just really opens the doors for our students for sure. Students will also have the opportunity to, like I mentioned, select a session, or the teacher can invite the student. This happens if you look at the schedule here on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 10:24 to 11:04. And like we mentioned, it is embedded in the schedule. You can also send an email to the teachers. So often they do hold some additional supports before school, after school, or during lunch. So I would, as a parent, reach out to the teachers, especially if your student's having some difficulties in class. I would reach out to them and ask, do you offer any additional supports? For the most part, we find that our teachers do. I also want to highlight that in order for the student to participate in enrichment, student needs to have a 3.0 or above. However, keep in mind that a teacher's invite will always overwrite enrichment. So I just think it's very important that you understand that. So we're really happy to have this at La Quinta High School, and it's been successful so far, and we hope to continue for sure. So some credit recovery opportunities. Summer school opportunities for 9th grade students. We offer 2 sessions. One session, as soon as we get out of school, that following Monday usually, students can make up to 2 classes, 10 credits. I do want to highlight that space is limited and it is offered on a first come, first served basis. Applications are sent in spring. Please make sure that you pay attention to your email. This is how we're going to send them to both parents and students. And also keep in mind that not all courses are available. We only offer CP Math, English, and PE for our 9th grade students. First semester courses are only available in first session. Second semester courses are only available in second session. And it's really important. Often we had parents that said, oh, my student can't go first session, but the student failed first semester of English. Well, this is the only way to make up that class as a freshman in summer school, first session. So I just want to make sure that you understand that as well. And I think that's it. Now to Ms. Diana Cruz.
Hi, I'm Diana Cruz. I'm the Career Guidance Specialist, and I'm going to talk to you about upcoming events. So upcoming events. This coming Wednesday, Thursday, and September 20th and 21st, we're going to have Club Rush here at the campus. During lunch in the main gym, we encourage all the students, especially our freshmen, to get connected as soon as possible. So this is a chance for them to network, to meet other teachers, to meet other students, and to find out what's available for them on the campus. This is a chance for them to also have a lot of volunteer opportunity, and that's something that's going to look really good when they start applying to colleges. Wednesday, October 4th, we're going to have our military showcase, and that's going to be here in the quad on the campus. We're going to have several different recruiters from the Marines, the Army, the Air Force, and the Navy. And they just come to talk to the kids. They have freebies, cups, posters, t-shirts, all at just the cost of a push-up or a pull-up. So it's open to 9th through 12th grade. So hopefully they all come out and say hi to our recruiters. Wednesday, October 11th, we're going to have our college and career fair at the Agua Caliente Resort in Rancho Mirage. We do have a bus for students from that we're going to meet here. We're going to go from 4 to 7. Our deadline to sign up was last Friday. So if the students did not sign up, they still have a chance to go with the parents or with a friend. They can drive on their own. We encourage them to go on the bus with us just because of parking, but they don't have to. They can go anytime, and it's a great opportunity for them to talk to, meet some reps, meet our Voc Tech programs here at COD. They've got welding programs. They've got our culinary. We've got the sheriff's department. Well, the recruiters will also be there. So it's a great time for them to start talking about their future and see what they want to do or what they don't want to do. Wednesday, October 25th, here at La Quinta High School, we're going to have our own college and career fair here in the quad, and that's open for all grades also. And if they didn't make it to the one at Agua Caliente, they're welcome to get their lunch and come talk to our different representatives here we're going to have on the campus. Friday, September 8th, last week was AP IB registration deadlines, and I'm not sure who signed up and who didn't, but that was the deadline last Friday. Coming up December 5th, we're having our ASVAB signups for our 10th through 12th grade, and freshmen are not available to take it, but it's definitely something they might want to take in the future because that opens up the door for them to go onto the asvabprogram.org, and that's another program like the CCGI, but it goes a little bit more in depth with their interest profile and what careers are available to them in the future. Black Hawk Hour. I have several different presentations that I offer every month. I send out the students their flyers every month. Right now, September and October went out already. And just a little bit of our lineup was CSU Long Beach. We also had UC Berkeley. We're going to have University of San Francisco this week, and we're also going to have UCSD and La Sierra. So that's just a little bit of what we're having. October will be several different ones, November, December. So hopefully students get in there and sign up and start looking at what they might want to do when they graduate from high school. And
so thank you so much. There's so many great opportunities. I think it's just really important. The Black Hawk Hour, when the students log in to pick where they're going, the very first thing they'll see are the opportunities through the counseling office, because we are offering things that are available to all students. So really encourage your student to show you what that looks like. So you know how they can either get extra help in a class that they need help in, or they can take advantage of some of these college career presentations and this just exposure early on. So the more they get out there and see what's happening, the earlier they'll start to think of what they want to do, and it just helps. We know we cover a lot of information, and we know a lot of parents and families are anxious to talk with us and get some clarification. So we are offering and inviting you to join us on Tuesday, September 26th from 8:15 to 9:15. So that's on late start day. We invite you to come early. Parking will look much better. Join us in the La Quinta High School Staff Lounge, which is upstairs in the main building. We'll have some coffee, light refreshments, but really it's going to be a Q&A for the parents to ask us questions so that we can help support you in supporting your child. We will send out an RSVP form. We would appreciate the RSVP. If you forget, please still come. We want to answer your questions. We're just trying to get an idea for refreshment purposes. And then we'll also send you a link so you can submit some questions in advance. That way we can try to prepare as much information as we can ahead of time. But again, if you don't send those questions in advance, we'll still be able to answer and we'll be there to help you. So we're hoping as many of you as possible will make it. We'll send out that information and you can sign up. I think that's about it. We look forward to seeing you all. We look forward to supporting your students. If you need to reach a counselor, go ahead and email us, or you can call the counseling office through the main line. Ask for Mr. Leon and he can get you to us. You can follow us on Instagram, LQHS_counseling, and we do put out some information that way as well. But we look forward to seeing you. Have a great night at Blackhawks.